Okay. Can you just let me know what is the difference between a normal GS paper answer writing and the difference between your sociological optional answer writing? Can anyone tell me the difference? See, as we have seen that most of the syllabus of the optional paper is almost same with the GS paper. For example, if I talk about globalization, right? So this is in our optional paper also, and it is again in your GS2 also, right? But while writing the answer of globalization from GS point of view, it will be a kind of just generic answer along with some facts and all. But when you write this from sociological point of view, you have to take the help of certain thinkers, right? Okay, so you have to show your sociological mindset in your answer. So এইখিনি কথা আমি মনত ৰাখিব লাগিব। ঠিক আছে? So this is the difference between the optional answer writing and the answer writing between the normal GS papers. Okay, and this goes true for every optional. Okay, whatever optional that you take. Clear? Okay. Now you see, among the sociological thinkers, again, two of the thinkers are not included in this syllabus. Earlier, those thinkers were there. If you talk about the APSC syllabus, that is Auguste Comte, and Herbert Spencer. Auguste Comte and Herbert Spencer. Okay, now you see, although it is not included in the syllabus, again, you have to read this. Why? Because Auguste Comte has contributed many things in the sociology. Okay, he is one of the positivists. When you talk about positivists, what does it mean? When we talk about non-positivists, what does it mean? Right. So these all vocabulary should be clear. So in my very first class, when we will begin, I will first try to clear all these vocabularies. Right. Then when you will start reading all those things, then you can connect the points. Okay. Again, you see, এতিয়া আমাৰ এপ্ৰ'চটো কেনেকুৱা হ'ব লাগে? আমি আগতে কৈছো যে we have a very less time in our hand, right? Again, you have to study a lot of papers. Okay, a syllabus had changed. Okay. So বেছিও পঢ়িব নালাগে, minimalize একদম ৰাখিব লাগিব, right? At least you have to clear your basics. When you talk about basics, you just make a flowchart. Do you know what is a flowchart? I think you know what is a flowchart. Okay. So when you read Karl Marx, you just make a flowchart of whatever the concepts Karl Marx has given. For example, historical materialism, okay, mode of conduct, alienation, class struggle. So you make a very crisp note. Okay, like you have that A4 size paper, you just fold that paper and try to write all those things. So this will help you in revising. Okay, once the concept is clear, additional points will come. For example, if I talk about whether alienation exists at the present context, or whether the concept of class struggle of Karl Marx is still relevant at the present context. What do you think? Anyone? Can you give your opinion? Yes? Anyone? Okay. See, again, if you don't interact, at least it becomes difficult for me to understand you. Okay, so try to interact. Next thinker is Emile Durkheim. Again, he is very important. He talks about division of labor. Okay, why division of labor exists in the society, right? So you see, basically, when we talks about sociology, what does this subject mean? What is the subject matter of sociology? Can anyone say? What is the subject matter of sociology? Yeah. What is the subject of sociology? Study of society in a scientific manner. Okay, that scientific manner will come after some time. In simple, when we talk about society or sociology, it is nothing but the study of the human behavior. Okay, so For example, when I talk about inequalities in a particular society, right? So you see there are basically two terms. One is differences and one is inequality, right? So out of these two terms, which is a natural term? Natural term means it exists in nature, right? Can anyone say? Differences and inequality. You can just on your mic and you can directly interact. Okay.
Differences.
Yes.
Actual one is differences.
Yes. How? How these differences becomes inequality? Yes. See, again, talking from a sociological point of view, you will see that in many of the matrimonial sites, certain advertisers comes like the bridegroom must be what? Tall, right? The bride must be fair in complexion, right? Again, some are fat, some are very thin. So these are what all these things exist in nature. That means when you talk about differences, these exist in nature. Someone is fair in color, someone is dark in color, someone is tall, someone is short. So these all are the differences. Now, when the society, okay, when the society adds value to these differences, when the society adds value to these differences, it becomes inequality. Are you getting my point? Okay, when the society adds values to these differences, it becomes inequality. Now you see, talking about India is a what? Multicultural, multi-diverse, multi-religious country, right? You will find a lot of differences. Okay, you will find a difference in your religion, you will find a difference in ethnicity, language, culture, right? So differences are there, so inequality in such a diverse country will also exist, right? So these all phenomena, why such inequality exists, this we can again understand through our sociology, right? So when we talk about values, you can directly relate it with your GS paper 4. Okay, can you tell me the difference between values and morals, or can you tell me the definition of values? What are values? किसी ने ethics पढ़ा है? कोई में ethics पढ़ी है? Yes. কোনোবা ethics পঢ়িছে নে ইয়াত? Anyone? Okay, no reply. So I'm expecting that someone of you may interact, since around 13 participants are here, right? At least you must interact, okay? Now you see, when I say that when values were attached to these inequalities, when values were attached to to these differences, it becomes inequalities. So that's why I want to know, what do you understand by values? Yes, what do you mean by values? Okay, let me connect with ethics. Then you will know what is the connection between ethics and sociology also. Okay, now you see, when we talk about values, these are your individual choice or preference. Okay, these are your individual choice and preference. Okay, right? Now, for example, your individual choice is you prefer eating vegetarian food, right? You prefer eating vegetarian food. Now, when this individual choice of yours, okay, when this individual choice of yours, it becomes very much rigid. Okay, it becomes very much rigid, then it becomes your moral. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Yes. Okay. When it becomes rigid, it becomes moral. Okay. Now you see, it becomes rigid means now based on your this individual preference or your individual choice, you will try to judge the things whether it is good or bad. Okay. Till the values, you will say that you just prefer eating vegetarian food. Now this preference of yours has become so rigid, okay, has become so rigid that it will become moral, and based on this moral you will try to judge people whether they are good or bad. Now you will say that those people who eat non-vegetarian food, they are bad people, right? So you are attaching your values. Okay, now this is again leading to somewhat inequalities in the society. Are you getting my point? Yes. Okay, I hope you are understanding. Okay, now you see, when this moral of yours, whatever your moral has developed based on your values, when it finds a common ground of acceptance, when it finds a common ground of acceptance in the society, that means, now suppose here, for example, I'm saying that your moral is that whoever eats non-vegetarian food, they are bad. Now this moral of yours is supported by a second person, a third person, a fourth person. That means the whole society now supports you that the eating non-vegetarian is bad. So when this collective ground is found, okay, this collective ground of acceptance is found in the society, then it becomes an ethics of that particular society. See how it is related to sociology. Okay, now when it becomes an ethics of a particular society, why am I saying ethics of a particular society? Because ethics is different from society to society. Okay, now again in this case, okay, if I talk about our ancient India, sati system was supported by our ancient society, right? Sati system was supported by our ancient society. Whether it is good or bad, that doesn't matter. It was supported. Okay, it was against the human values, but it is still supported. But at certain point of time, for the leaders like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and all, because of their logical arguments, this societal ethics has changed. Okay, now people are not supporting sati system. Okay, so this change in ethics in the society is nothing but a social change in the society, and this social change is in terminology of your sociology. Are you understanding? Okay, any questions still here? Any questions? Then you see, if we talk about the rest of the syllabus, so again, I have said that the thinkers part is very important. You can use these thinkers in quoting your answers in your paper 2 also, right? Because that part is very dynamic, as I have said, and you have to write your sociological answers. So with the help of these thinkers, you have to write those answers. Along with these Western thinkers, we also have to study the thinkers of our of India. For example, like G.S. Ghurye, okay, M.N. Srinivas, Yogendra Singh. Okay. Okay. Next very important chapter is, someone's mic is on. Kindly mute yourself. Nayan and Srishti Gogo, you can mute yourself. Okay. Just on your mic whenever you want to interact. Okay. So the next very important chapter is stratification and mobility. Okay. So when we talk about stratification in a society, what does it mean? What does it mean? When we talk about normal stratification, no need to tell about society. When we talk about stratification, so what do you mean by stratification? Yes, anyone? Yes. See, stratification, when we talk about stratification in geography also, you have seen that the rocks are stratified into different layers. Okay, so we can go by that terminology. Okay, stratification is nothing but it is the layers, it is divided, it is the classification, right? Yes, Manoj. It is the classification in the, or it is the differentiation, okay, or the difference that are existing in a society. Now, this difference in a particular society can be attributed to different factors, right? Like when we talk about our Indian society, as I have said, the differences are there, which turns into inequality. Okay, okay, that inequality may lead to exclusion. Okay, that exclusion from the mainstream society, which will further lead to creation of more bigger phenomenon such as poverty. Okay, okay, okay. So again, let me ask one question: do you support reservation? Do you support reservation? Yes. Please try to interact. Will become a civil servant. If you don't interact, then how will you know the people's problems, right? Don't consider it as your demo class, right? Just consider it as a class and just try to interact. Okay, this helps me as a teacher. Okay, we'll get to know what are the things that I will discuss. Yes. Okay. Yes, since constitutionally it is very pervasive. Okay. So can you justify things only on the basis of its constitutionality? Hmm? Economically upliftment. Okay. So reservation is somewhat creating discrimination in the society. Do you support this statement? Do you support this statement? Yes. Now you see, if you are following the newspaper, there are different instances that in many of the cases, often they are saying that this economic criteria, like it is there in the OBCs. Okay, when we talk about the OBCs, we know that there is a creamy layer and non-creamy layer. Okay, such economic criteria are there, but such economic criteria are not there for the STs, for the STs, right? So when we talk about the existing discrimination in the society, yes. So this reservation, you can see that this is a form of positive discrimination. This is a form of positive discrimination because all such discrimination or all such differences that are existing in the society is not on the basis of or not on the sole basis of economy. Okay, right. For example, we can see there are many people belonging to lower caste, but they are economically very rich. Okay, their position is, if we talk about their class, they are in a high class system, but still they are discriminated on the basis of their caste. You're getting my point? Okay, so these such discrimination, such inequalities that are existing in the society can you cannot say that directly this is because of the economic disparity. বুঝি পাইছে? ঠিক আছে? So this may be on the basis of, and this is on the basis of cultural discrimination only. Okay, from my own example, if I say, when I was in Delhi, I have certain roommates who belong to the Himachal Pradesh, or someone belong to Haryana. And you see, in this northern belt of our country, okay, the dominance of the caste system is very much stringent. Does anyone have any friends from that belt, northern belt? Anyone? Do you have some friends from there? Delhi, Bihar, Haryana, Punjab, anyone? Yeah. Have you talked with them about this caste system and all? So what is their attitude towards the caste system, Manoj? Yes. Okay. See, now you see, I think you know who are Chamars, who are Balmikis. Okay. So you see, basically, when I talk about these Chamars, these Balmikis, they belong to a particular caste, right? Now you see, this, when we talk about the Chamars, they were basically the cobblers. Okay. Now we just say that they are Chamars or they are the cobblers, if you know that they are caste. But if you talk about many of the people from that belt, okay, from that belt, when I talk about that belt, I'm talking about the North India, okay, where the caste system is very much dominant. So the way they say the word chamar, so you will see certain disgust in their voice towards this caste system. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so the discrimination exists in the society only. This is a cultural discrimination. Okay, this is a problem of the mindset. Okay, so you see, this is a problem of the mindset. Okay, you have to change the people's attitude. Okay, when I talk about attitude, again ethics comes into play. Okay, so again you can connect whatever knowledge that you have from sociology, you can use this knowledge in your ethics paper while writing the case studies. Okay, so my mandate is that I also teach ethics in some other institutions. Also, I am an assistant professor in USTM. They also I teach ethics. So I can connect these two papers. Okay, in between these papers, I will connect also. So are you getting my point? Okay, so why such discrimination exists? So this discrimination is purely on the basis of the cultural discrimination. Okay, so again, have you all heard about the khap panchayats? Khap panchayats? Anyone? Khap panchayat? Yes. So what are those? Manish? Manoj? Yes. Can you tell me? Yes, it is in Haryana. They are also called as kangaroo courts. Why? Are they legal panchayats? Are they legal panchayats? See, those who don't know, these khap panchayats, yes, they are not legal panchayats, right? They are basically caste-based panchayats. Okay, as you have heard, I think you have heard many of the incidents such as honor killing and all. Okay, so all these are done because of this khap panchayats only. Okay, as again I have said that in this northern belt, the caste system is still dominant. Okay, inter-caste is still not supported in many of the states. Take care. Okay. Next, again, so these all other things, again, social stratification is also seen in the case of, we have seen the discrimination against the tribals, right? We have seen who are tribals. Do you know who are tribals? Do you know about the broken man theory given by B.R. Ambedkar? Broken man theory. Okay. So these terminologies you have to study. What is the broken man theory? Okay, again, short notes will directly come. You have seen the structure of the paper. Okay. Okay. So again, have you all heard about the word Panchasil? This is a very basic term, right? सुना है सबने Panchasil? Yes. This term I think is familiar with everyone. So my question is, have you all heard about tribal Panchasil? Anyone? Tribal Panchasil? Yes. See, as we know, Panchasil is what? Yes, Manoj. Can you elaborate, Manoj? I think I have only seen you interacting. Yes, Manoj. Can you elaborate? You can on your mic, Manoj. Okay. Yeah, maybe some network issue. See, when we talk about Panchachal, I think you know from international point of view, yes. From international point of view, this is again with the relations with our China. And when we talk about tribal Panchachal, this is again a kind of same 5 pillars, okay, with different criteria that is meant by Nehru for these tribes. Okay, now this tribal Panchachal again has some criticism, right? So as we know that tribals, if you see their nature, they are already secluded. Okay, they remain isolated from the mainstream population. After independence, again, when Nehru designed certain policies, okay, so here again we have to know the ideology or the method of Indian sociologists like G.S. Ghude. Okay, what he called the tribals. Okay, again, he is contradicted with some other Western sociologists. Okay, so this tribal Panchashil, the criticism is that because of this tribal Panchashil, the tribals became more backward. Okay, since they were secluded, right? So development, जो उन लोग के placement development, it became very less. Okay, so again, this can be connected to your GS paper 3 internal security, right? Because of the less development of the tribals, because of the exploitation of the tribals from their autonomy over jal, jungle, and jameen. Okay, these tribals were brainwashed by some of the social evils, which led to the different extremist movements like those Naxal movement and all. Right? Have you heard about this term, Jal, Jungle, and Jameen? Anyone? Yes? Okay. So you try to read all those magazines like Kurukshetra and Yojana. These two magazines are very good from this point of view. Okay. You will get a lot of data. So this Jal, Jungle, and Jameen is given by the Buria committee. Okay. You can directly quote this in your answers. Even directly in your GS2 also you can quote this. Okay. Okay. Next chapter talks about politics and society. Okay. Again, from sociological point of view, can we say that the political parties are formed because of the caste system? Yes, anyone? Caste system has a significant role in forming many of the political parties. Yes? Anyone? Just share your views. Yes, Parvez? Can you elaborate?
Yes. So we can see more of that in UP,
Hmm.
where there is a lot of the politics is influenced by caste.
Hmm.
So
If you see, in here the concept of dominant caste will come of M.N. Srinivas.
yes,
Okay, so in many of the cases, there is a dominant caste which leads to the formation of a dominant political party. Right, it is one phase of the change in the political scenario. Then again, we will see that because of such dominance of that dominant caste political parties, some political parties were purely formed by this lower caste people. Okay,
okay,
first they were formed as a pressure group, which ultimately turned into a political party. For example, the Asgar.
yeah,
Okay, okay. So again, this politics and society, it goes hand in hand. Okay, it talks about power elite, it talks about bureaucracy. Again, it is directly in your GS paper 2. When we talk about bureaucracy, they are nothing but they are the permanent executives, right? Do you know what are permanent executives and temporary executives? I think you know. Okay, since you are preparing for the civil services, this is a very basic concept. Okay, so when we talk about permanent bureaucracy or permanent executives, so sometimes we have seen that the bureaucracy has taken a dysfunctional state in our country. Okay, so see, I have used the terminology called as dysfunctional, right? So these are the terminologies of sociology. Okay, dysfunctional means, in simple words, it is the demerits. Okay, what are its defects? So again, you see, because if we consider right from the independence onwards, bureaucracy still exists in our country. Yes, but still we still find some phenomena which can be considered as social evils. Okay, if I talk about such social evils, we still find female foeticide, right? Violence on women, domestic violence, we still find such phenomena. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that what is the main function of bureaucracy? To implement the policies, right? So whether these policies are implemented in the right manner or not. So what are the issues that the bureaucracy suffers from? Right? Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point, what I'm trying to say? So all these phenomena will be studied in your sociology paper as well as how it goes with ethics, you see. if you have seen the syllabus of ethics, there is a chapter called as attitude. Have you seen the syllabus? Okay. See, the very first preparation is your by hearting the syllabus. Okay, without the syllabus, you should not prepare. You must know the syllabus. This will help you in getting the information while you read the newspapers also. Okay, so there is this chapter called as attitude in your ethics. Again, this can be connected here with bureaucracy, how you see. Again, if I take an example of Swachh Bharat mission. So do you think Swachh Bharat mission is successful now? Yes, anyone? Do you think Swachh Bharat mission is successful now? Yes. Swachh Bharat mission, you see, it is the not very first cleanliness mission, right? So earlier you will find different types of cleanliness mission, such as total sanitation program, Nirmal Gram Puraskar Yojana. Okay, so that means what I'm trying to say is that although such phenomena or such schemes existed earlier, but those projects or those schemes were not successful in changing the attitude of the people. So the main problem here lies is the problem of attitude. Okay, because you see, again, if we go by sociology, you will see that in our main Hindu society, or if we talk about our traditional Indian society, the concept of purity and pollution is associated. This concept is associated with the caste system, as well as, again, if we see while practicing different phenomena, the concept of purity and pollution is associated. Okay, so talking about these bathrooms and all, so according to the older tradition of our country, so building a bathroom inside the campus of the house will create pollution. Okay, this is not the term pollution of environmental pollution. Okay, this is a cultural term here, right? So this is the attitude of the person, right? So earlier in this, like I have talked about the total sanitation program, I have talked about the Nirmal Gram Puraskar Yojana. So such schemes were brought, but these were not successful in changing the attitude of the people. Okay, so the result is that whatever bathrooms or whatever infrastructures that were built under that scheme, that were converted into the storehouses. So the major problem here is the change of attitude, and since the bureaucracy, okay, the bureaucracy is not successful in changing the attitude of the people, so therefore such projects or such government schemes has failed earlier. And only you can change the attitude of the others people only when you will have that particular attitude. Okay, are you getting my point? Yes. Any questions still here? Any questions? Are you getting the idea how sociology interconnects with the other GS papers? Yes. Okay then. Next you see, next chapter is religion and society. Okay, again, this has an interconnection. So can you define religion? Can anyone define religion? Or is it easy to define religion? Yes? Can you define religion, anyone? Or the concept of religion has changed? You see, religion depends on the development of the intellectuality in the human beings. Right? This can be connected with your chapter 1, emergence of sociology. Okay, there we will read about Auguste Comte, how he told that how the human intellectuality it emerged. At certain point of time, okay, people believe that everything that happens in the nature can be attributed to some supernatural phenomenon. Okay, so such belief system has changed. Okay, so this change in religion has somewhat shaped the society. Okay, again, if we talk about French Revolution, there we will see how again religion played a dominant role, all those clergies and all. Okay, this led to the revolution. okay, which led to the formation of the words like liberty, equality, and fraternity. Okay, so these all things are interconnected. Okay, so again, if I connect this with our state of Assam, okay, because you are going to attend the state PSC exam, right? So questions are ought to come upon these topics. So can you say that if we talk about the caste system that is prevalent in Assam, okay, is it its degree of stringency is same with the of the northern belts? Or what factors were that existed in Assam that made the caste system slightly easier as compared to that of the northern belts? It is less rigid in Assam. Okay, so which who is responsible for such things in Assam? Are you getting my question? Yes, anyone? বুজি পাইছে নে কি কৈছো? Yes. Okay. I don't know why you people are not interacting. See, if I talk about the caste system in our country, in Assam, okay, it is somewhat not that too rigid, because this can be again attributed to Shankardev's Neo-Vaishnavism movement, right? Because majority of the society is binded by his belief system and all. So whatever changes that he has brought, he even allowed all peoples from all religions to be included in his new system of religion, right? So these factors can be attributed. Okay, okay. So you must know to connect. Okay, you must know to connect the concepts with the state of Assam also. Okay, okay. Next, system of kinship. Okay, there we have to read about family, household, marriage, types and forms of family, lineage, descent, patriarchy, sexual division of labor, contemporary trends. Okay, here I want to pick up a word called as sexual division of labor. Okay, this is somewhat very contemporary. Okay, so I think you all have heard about the blue color jobs, white color jobs. Have you all heard about pink color jobs? Pink color jobs? Yes, anyone? Pink color jobs? Parvez, no. Rest of the people, anyone? Okay, just try to think. Okay, when I talk a receptionist, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? Okay, yes, female. Okay, when I talk about a nanny, again female will come to mind. When I talk about air hostess, okay, so that means because of our existing structure of the society, or because of the existing stereotypes in our society, we find that many of the jobs are now attributed only to the females, right? It is not written in anywhere that in no rule book it is written that receptionist must be a female. But such stereotype has been developed in our society. Okay, so these pink color jobs is attributed to such jobs, which is purely attributed to the females. Is it clear? Is it clear? Any questions? I hope I am clear. Okay. Okay. So again, let me ask one question from current affairs. Have you all heard about the word feminization of agriculture? Feminization of agriculture. Yes, anyone? Missing women from the farmlands. Anyone? Feminization of agriculture, missing women from the farmlands. কোনোবাই শুনিছে নে? Yes. Okay, I think no one have heard about this thing. Okay, so when did our economy opened up? When did our economy opened up? Yes. Yes. So you see, during the 1990s, because of the LPG reforms, okay, our economy has opened up. Okay, because of this opening up of the economy, because of this globalization, liberalization, and privatization, the job domain has increased, right? So different jobs, new jobs has been created, urban centers have been developed. Okay, so better opportunities of jobs has been developed. Because of such reason, many of the males, they migrated to these areas in search of better source of income, right? So these farmlands, okay, in the villages now, they were left behind. So these women started doing agriculture in these farmlands, right? That is called as feminization of agriculture. That means the number of women cultivators were increasing, right? But again, if we talk about the anatomy of the women, okay, they were doing cultivation is very much physical challenging to them, right? So again, if you read all these reports and all these trends, you will find that during some point of time, this feminization of the agriculture, it increased. The number of female workforce has increased in agriculture, but again, drastically, it has decreased. The main reason is that the women, again, as I have talked about the anatomy of a female body, okay, it becomes very challenging for them. Okay, so this is called as missing women from the farmlands. So again, if APSC thinks that it wants to be dynamic, it can give questions relating to what more current affairs. So how, in which are these questions will be asked? You see that the condition, there is a chapter called as the rural and agrarian structure in your paper 2. So such new phenomena you have to mention. Am I clear? Am I clear? Any questions? Okay. Now, again, if I talk about how this globalization has changed the family structure, this is again related to your ethics. Can someone kindly interact? Yes, how globalization had changed the family system. Consider this to be your question of your GS paper 2 also. If we prepare one answer, then it will be helpful for both papers. Yes, anyone? Small families, basically this is called as nuclear families. The proper word is nuclear families. Yes? Yes. Western ideas came to India about nuclear family then. So what is the problem with these nuclear families, Manoj? There are a lot of merits that we know, but there are also demerits or dysfunctionals with these nuclear families. Yes, what are these demerits? Okay, then. Now you see, again, let me connect it with your ethics paper. Okay. See, as I have said that in your ethics paper, there is a chapter, or first chapter only deals with the human values. Okay, how values are imparted. Now you see, we know that family has an important role in imparting the values to the young generations. Yes. So in the joint family system, we have seen the role of grandparents, right, in imparting the values to these young generations. Okay. Now you see, because of such globalization, such change in the family structure, we have seen that many of the nuclear families are emerging. And as a result, you see in these nuclear families, the most common phenomenon is that almost both the parents are employed, right? Both the parents are employed. So as a result, those values that these young children needs in their childhood, okay, this young generation needs in their childhood, they're not getting the proper values, right? Since it's a nuclear family, the grandparents are also not there to give these values to these young children, right? So this is the reason why there is an increase in number of juvenile crimes in our society, right? Best example is, if you are very much updated with the current news, is the Nagaon case of Assam. Directly you can cite this in your papers also. Okay, any questions? Anyone? Right? Okay, so see how this family system is important. Again, we all understand this from sociological perspective, right? So can you interconnect now with these both papers of GS paper 4, GS2, and your sociology? Okay, are you finding an interconnection? So with one preparation only, you can do all these 3 papers, right? Okay. Okay, anyone preparing for UPSC here? Anyone who is preparing for UPSC? Okay. See, there will be a difference between the APSC paper and UPSC. Okay, yes, perfect. Okay. So again, you see, if you prepare for climbing the Himalayas, right, then you can easily conquer those small hills and all, right? So it is a suggestion to everyone that just prepare for the UPSC. Right now, the syllabus is same. This time we have seen almost only one person has cleared from Assam. Right. So again, I think this change in syllabus will help us, okay, in getting at par with this national level competition. Okay. Okay. So you see, so are you getting the relation? Yes, I think everyone is getting the relation. So sociology is very interesting actually. Okay. Next, again, we have seen the terminology called as patriarchy and sexual division of labor. Sexual division of labor I have discussed. So when I talk about patriarchy, okay, how we can relate to another phenomenon you see. Patriarchy, so patrilineal again, different concepts are there. When we talk about patriarchy, we talk about the authority. Okay, now you see, if you know, the women of India are mostly malnourished, or you may find the phenomenon such as hidden hunger between them. Hidden hunger between them. Now, all such phenomenologies can be directly attributed to patriarchy. Can anyone tell me what is the relation between such phenomena and patriarchy? Can anyone tell me? Yes. Please on your mics and interact. Yes, anyone? Manoj? Okay, am I audible to you properly? Is my voice breaking? Is my voice breaking? Okay, no reply from anyone, and supposing I'm audible to you. Okay, now you see how such phenomena are associated with patriarchy. So you see that if you see in a normal households also, just you can experience this by yourself. In the normal household, it is practiced that the women will eat after the what? After the meal, right? Or after the husband. So again, in the traditional families also, yes, chalta hai, right? So the more you, so as a result, what will happen? The women will eat the cold food, okay, or they will repeatedly eat that food, okay. As a result, the nutrition of such foods, the food loses its nutrition. Okay, so you see, this is these all such phenomena you can directly attribute to the sociological phenomena. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Yes? Yes? Anyone? Can you tell me an example of a matriarchal society? Anyone? Matriarchal society?
So
If I
Meghalaya
talk,
is one of the
yes. The
example
Khasis?
from
Yes, the
Meghalaya is
Khasis.
one.
Yes, in Meghalaya we can find the Khasis. But again, some criticism is there is that in this matriarchy only, there is a prevalence of patriarchy. There is a prevalence of patriarchy. Okay. So what does it mean? What does it mean? If you know the system that is practiced in the Khasi families, you will see that although the marriage and all, although the authority and all, this all happens on the basis of the matrilineal system, but when it comes to the control over the property or naming of the child and all, so such, yes, yes, Srishti, good. So maternal uncle has the authority. Okay. So again, you see, in the matriarchy only patriarchy is practiced. Okay. Okay. Next, again, when I talk about another phenomenon that is called as child labor. So what is your opinion? Why does child labor exist? Why does child labor exist? Yes, anyone? Poverty is one of the factor. Apart from that, lack of education. Yes. Can you elaborate this? This is again from your ethics, lack of attitudinal problem. Okay. Can we say that some of the parents are underemployed? This is also one of the factor which leads to child labor. Underemployed. What do you mean by underemployment? Underemployment. Okay, that means you are getting less money according to your qualification. Okay, now you see all such issues like child labor, why it can cause a very larger issue. Okay, it is a larger issue by itself, but again, it can contribute to some other issues such as in our country we have seen that unemployment is very much there. Okay, so if we talk about our demography, okay, if we talk about our country's demography, so our demography, there is a phenomenon called as demographic dividend. Have you all heard about this phenomenon? Demographic dividend? Anyone? Yes. So what does it mean? A particular sentence used to come in the exam. So what must be done in order to prevent this demographic dividend in becoming a demographic disaster? Right. That means if we talk about all those population pyramid and all, if you compare with all those major economies, yes, working as population group between 15 and good meanwhile. Okay, so if we compare with all those major economies such as China, such as USA or Japan, we have seen that their working population is now becoming very old. So it is a very high opportunity for our country, okay, so that it can use its young working population, okay, to boost our economy. But for that, another issue is that this, although India has a very young energy, right? This young population is, many of this young population is not skilled, not skilled. Is it true? Is it true? Okay, right. So again, see, this can be attributed to child labor, because from the very tender age only, they were subjected to doing this labor and all. Okay, so from there only they will not get that proper set of skills, okay, that required for the employment. Okay, this can be all interconnected. So as a result, they will be subjected to the vicious cycle of poverty. When they will grow adult, their children will again, they will be subject to child labor. Okay, so such vicious cycles of poverty continues, and this is the reason you can say that poverty still persists in our country because of all such phenomena. Okay, many other factors are also there. Today I'm just touching the periphery of all those things. Okay. Okay. So again, when we read about globalization, there is another term called as localization. Can anyone say what is localization? Localization. Yes. Anyone? For example, McDonald's goes vegetarian during Navaratri, or McDonald's not including beef burgers in India. Can you get an idea what I'm talking about? Localization. Anyone? You see, yes. So localization means all those global companies, they are adopting the cultures and traditions of the local place where they are going, right? Like when you talk about Navaratri, it is purely vegetarian. It is practicing again in the northern belts, right? So they are since McDonald's, they are adopting that local culture. Okay, so that is called as localization. So these all phenomena are there. Okay, now you see all those things. Okay, so these are the questions, some of the questions I have given. Okay, so how I will teach the paper. Okay, for example, the very first question belongs to your first chapter. How had the Enlightenment contributed to the emergence of sociology? Okay, so in this case, you have to mention a lot of things. You have to mention while writing the answer, the very first thing to be kept in mind is about the structure of the answer, in what way it should be followed. Okay, so here it was asked about the Enlightenment. So you have to mention what are the circumstances, okay, that led to the Enlightenment. You have to mention about the Dark Ages. You have to mention about modernity. Okay, French Revolution and Industrial Revolution, this you can attribute to some political attributes. Okay, this came as a part of this one, Enlightenment and all. Okay, so you have to connect these things. That is the main thing, right? Okay. Next question, you can see discuss how the scope of sociology has expanded since its inception till date. Okay. Now, in writing this answer, you have to mention about those thinkers like Auguste Comte and all, Herbert Spencer, whatever they have said, like social statics, social dynamics. Okay. There is a terminology called as social organism. Okay, like Herbert Spencer has compared the social society with an organism, right? The concept of Darwinism. Okay, like Charles Darwin has said, survival of the fittest. So this very concept has been used by Herbert Spencer in sociology. You have to mention these things, right? Okay, so attempting the questions makes your dimensions wider. Okay. So then next question, despite the continuous efforts of the Indian government through laws like Forest Right Act and special incentives like tribal surplus, condition of the tribals and forest dwellers has not improved. Now this is again very dynamic question. Okay, you have to write all those provisions. You have to mention also what are the issues, why such things are not successful. Then you will again you have to give a way forward. Okay. Next, discuss the paradigm of the social change given by Yogendra Singh to understand the modernization of our country. So in order to answer this question, you have to know whatever Yogendra Singh has said. Okay. So if you see the syllabus is quite lengthy. Okay, basically when we prepare for the UPSCs, we cover such syllabuses in 4 months. But again, I think again this time APSC will give direct questions since the syllabus has changed. This again happened with UPSC also in 2013. We have seen, okay, when the syllabus changed, some direct questions used to come. Okay. Okay. So this time it will be quite easier, I think, if you follow all those syllabuses properly. Okay, minimalize the preparation. ज़्यादा कुछ पढ़ना भी नहीं है. ठीक है? So do you want to ask any questions? Any questions? Otherwise, I will end the class here, and it is up to you whether you want to join the course or not. Okay, so I have just touched the periphery of the syllabus.
Sir, I would like to ask one question. Actually,
Yes.
I am looking for this optional. Just now, I was following some other optional. So since I was following history optional, so as a like I'm thinking about now about sociology. So is it feasible to take this optional considering only 3 months is left for the mains exam?
Yes, it is feasible. You see, as I have said that most of this is similar to your GS paper, right?
Okay.
Only in your paper 1, there are some thinkers. If those concepts are clear, then other parts it is very easy, right? Basically, how we take optionals. Okay, you have to see the syllabus, how minimal the syllabus is. Okay, how it is connected with the GS paper. That thing you have to see.
Okay.
Because it will make your preparation a consolidated preparation, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, you have to study your optional separately. Again, you have to study your GS separately.
Okay. Sir, can you suggest some standard books for the theory part?
Again, if you will go for many books, like somebody suggests Harlombas and all. So again, I have said that this time no need to read all such books because since time is less, so you can buy a book called as Essentials of Sociology by Nitin Sangwan. Okay, Essentials of Sociology by Nitin Sangwan. So he has included whatever things that must be included from Harlombas and all. So he has included everything in this book, and it's a very good book. Okay. Apart from that, you can refer to IGNO materials. That is enough again.
Will there be any study material provided by the institute?
Yes, study material I will provide in the group itself.
Okay.
Okay. So again, as I am saying that you have to make your preparation minimalized preparation. So whatever book that I have said, apart from that, some of the informations I will provide in PDF format in the group. Okay, we have a group for our class. Okay. Again, for your Assam part, now see some of the informations for Assam, it is very hard to take out. Okay, so you can do one thing. Suppose, for example, if I talk about the caste system in Assam, you just type in the net caste system in Assam, comma, your article library. Okay, so basically these are the thesis or different articles written by different sociological, some are students, some are professors. So you can get such informations from there. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Others? Okay. So I will end the class here, and it depends on you. Whatever decisions that you take, just take your decision fast. Okay. So again, you know that there are a lot of papers this time. So the more scoring papers will obviously the optional papers, right? Because you know the syllabus. You don't know what questions may be asked from your GS, but at least optional, you can know what questions will be asked. GS paper 4 is important, your ethics paper, right? So these 2 paper you must first prepare first, then you may look for the rest of the papers. Okay. If there is no any questions, then I will just end the class today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.